You know, if there's one thing Colin Cowherd and I agree on, it's Mission Impossible. I love Mission Impossible.
It's the best movie I've seen in 2 years.
You love Mission Impossible.
Oh my God. In fact, I've revised my top 10. It's like number 7 all time.
All time.
It is an unbelievable movie. I'm talking about like Goodfellas, Shawshank, Silence of the Lambs, Mission Impossible. It's up there with Platoon.
Right, so I love Mission Impossible, and the final installment just came out. And I have to tell you, it is really, really, really stupid. Like, way stupider than anything that has happened in Mission Impossible before. Like, there is like an AI computer that talks like a monster. He's like, Ethan, bro, this is your final reckoning, Ethan. Like, bro, like, ChatGPT already talks like a human, dude. Look. All right, ChatGPT, pretend you're Grant Cohn and give a reaction to Brock Purdy's new $265 million contract extension.
$265 million for Captain Checkdown. No arm, no pocket presence, no shot at winning a shootout. But sure, franchise quarterback. Shanahan is allergic to talent. Give him a robot who runs his script and dies quietly in January. He's thrilled. Lynch lit 3 first-round picks on fire for Trey Lance and is now overpaying a mascot to cover it up. And the fans, brainwashed. You could put a mannequin in a 49ers jersey and they'd chant MVP if Kyle told them to.
Okay, now do David Lombardi talking about Brock Purdy's contract extension.
This is a masterclass. A historic contract extension that cements the 49ers as the smartest organization in football. Brock Purdy, the most efficient quarterback in the league, is now locked in, and they still have cap space. That's unheard of. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch just pulled off a franchise-defining move. This is how dynasties are built. They've secured the most valuable asset in the NFL, elite quarterback play on a team-friendly deal. It's chess while the rest of the league plays checkers. Fans should be ecstatic. This is the blueprint. This is how you dominate the next decade.
Okay, so ChatGPT can already talk like a human. So I don't know why the AI in Mission Impossible, which is supposed to be the most powerful AI ever, is like, Ethan, it's a final reckoning. So it's really, really stupid. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning is really, really stupid. On the other hand, it's kind of like a grilled cheese sandwich. Like, how bad, even a bad grilled cheese sandwich is pretty good, right? Like, even if you burn the edges of a grilled cheese sandwich, it's still pretty good. The middle is still pretty good. And the middle of Mission Impossible Final Reckoning is pretty good. At one point, Tom Cruise finally loses a fight, or he has to be rescued, which I thought showed like awareness, like that he's getting older. This is the last mission. And I thought that was cool. Yeah, the middle was pretty good. It's just that the beginning was so incredibly stupid, and the villain, this Esai Morales, he's like, you've got to see it just to see how bad he is. Like, he is the worst. Like you cannot believe what you're seeing. You cannot believe this guy's dialogue. This villain. Okay, so really stupid, still pretty good. 6 out of 10. Go see Mission Impossible. The Final Reckoning. All right, let's get to some comments here. These people are arguing about whether or not Brock can lead a comeback, and one guy's like, well, excuse me, he led a comeback against Green Bay and Detroit in the playoffs. Actually, can I be honest with you? Like, the Green Bay and the Detroit comebacks to me were not as impressive as the Tampa Bay comeback. For me, the Tampa Bay comeback last season was more impressive because he did it with his arm. He had to do it multiple times. It was back and forth, right? Like he had to come back like 2 or 3 times in the Tampa Bay game. So I was way more impressed with the Tampa Bay game than I was with the Detroit game, which was a lot of running. The Green Bay game, I don't even know what that was. That was kind of like, that was crazy. So for me, I was way more impressed with the Tampa Bay game and the even the Raiders game. Do you remember that Raiders game? I don't know if that was his rookie season. It might have been his rookie season where he led a comeback and I don't know who the kicker was. Was it Jake Moody missed the kick and they ended up still winning it in overtime? But I thought the final drive to get them in position, I thought that was also impressive. So I was more impressed with the Raiders game and the Tampa Bay game than I was with the Detroit and the Green Bay game. But would I like to see him do better in the fourth quarter? I would. And I actually have a theory for why he has been struggling recently with that. But I don't know if anybody cares, so I don't want to waste time on it. We can get into it if you want, but I don't know if anybody really cares about my personal theories about why they've been struggling in the fourth quarter lately. John Middlecoff says the 49ers have a bright future with their big three, Brock Purdy, George Kittle, and Fred Warner, all extended. Well, Fred Warner is a 30-year-old linebacker that relies on toughness and grit coming off an injury-riddled season. So he's going to get injured. You can hate me if you want, but I'm just telling you, Fred Warner will be a shell of himself within a season or two. Okay, he might have one good season left, and if they win the Super Bowl, all will be forgiven. But he's gonna fall apart pretty soon. Fred Warner, he's going to fall apart. George Kittle, when is he not injured? He's always injured. So to me, this is a win now play. This says to me that John Lynch doesn't plan to be here much longer.
I'm not gonna be here.
He wants to give it one last shot at winning a Super Bowl. And if they do win it, then it will all be worth it. Okay, nobody's going to care if Fred Warner falls apart and George Kittle falls apart if they win the Super Bowl next season. This guy says I insulted Brock's religion. Brock and I have the same religion. Brock and I have the same religion. The only difference between Brock Purdy and I is I don't believe that God cares about Brock Purdy or Dak Prescott winning football games. I just don't believe it. And believe me, I've been taught all the same things, that God has a plan and every little thing. Yeah, I get it. But I feel like in the end, right, when we're all in the afterlife, if I could just get a minute with the Lord, I would say, listen, I know you're busy, okay? I know you've got a lot going on right now. I know you've got a lot going on with the end times and the rapture and all that. I know you've got a lot going on. But tell me the truth. Did you really care that Trey Lance struggled, so they kept Jimmy Garoppolo, and then both Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo got injured so that Brock Purdy could become the starting quarterback of the 49ers? Is that something you cared about? I suspect God will say, bro, I'm dealing with freaking quasars over here, okay? Do you realize how many civilizations there are in an infinite universe? Do you realize how big your galaxy is? Do you know how many galaxies there are? Trillions and trillions and trillions of galaxies, with trillions and 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 trillions of sentient beings. You think I'm worried about wins and losses in the NFL? You think I'm worried about wins and losses in the NFL so that Dak Prescott could go on TV and said, praise goes to whoever. You think I'm worried about that? You think I'm worried about that? I'm dealing with black holes merging in deep space. But you think I'm worried about Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy thanking me on NBC? I guess it doesn't matter because I'll just ask for forgiveness if I'm wrong. So I'm good. Sorry.